Hello again, listeners, and welcome back to the Kotu Classic podcast or show, whatever you want to call it. It's been 2 weeks, Chama. How's it going, man?
Yeah, it's been a week because of it's been two
Oh
game
yeah,
weeks, let's say, but it's
two
been a
two
week.
game
Yeah,
weeks. Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. It's been 1 week.
Because there was a midweek game and there was the weekend game. So yeah, we did not cover the weekend games.
hmm
We did put on the midweek game. So that's why it feels like 2 weeks. But yeah, it's just a
Yeah,
week. Uh-huh.
a lot has happened, man. In 2 game weeks, we have covered. A lot has happened that we haven't covered. So yeah, we are
Definitely.
recording game week 24 preview. It's
Hmm.
Thursday, the 8th of February here. It's about almost
Hmm.
7 a.m. in the morning. That's
Hmm.
timestamp. What's the time over there in Japan?
It's the same day, but about 3 minutes to like Friday.
To Friday,
It's
okay.
yeah,
We are
11:57 here
we are in
in the night.
the
So
last few minutes of the same day.
yeah.
Yeah. So okay, there's a lot to talk about. So just dive straight into this week. A few
Hmm.
things. I'll just go through the results really quickly. This is just for game week 23. We didn't record for 22. So this is just game week 23 results. Everton 2, Tottenham 2, Brighton 4, Crystal Palace 1, Burnley 2, Fulham 2, Newcastle 4, Luton 4. That was an exciting game. Sheffield United
Yeah.
0, Aston Villa 5, another one too. Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Chelsea 2, Wolves 4, Man U 3, West Ham 0, Arsenal 3, Liverpool 1, which we'll talk about later in the fan corner,
Hmm.
as well as the Man U game, and then Brentford 1,
Hmm.
Man City 3. Yeah, so these were
Yeah.
the games for game week 23. And moving on to our talking points, I think what most people are thinking about right now is the planning aspect of it, because this year it's a bit tricky, it's a bit difficult. I think we were just talking about it before
Hmm.
we started recording.
Yeah.
What is the way forward for actually
Hmm.
tackling these game weeks? We have a blank game week, we have a double game week, we have a new double
Hmm.
game week confirmed, which is 28.
Yeah.
So Chama, let the planning begin. Yeah,
Yeah.
what are
Yeah.
your
Let
thoughts?
the planning. Let the planning begin. Yeah. Firstly, double game week. I think that was announced yesterday. I think since we last recorded, a few double game weeks have been announced. That is Man City. Man City was already announced. Yeah. Man City was already announced. And then Liverpool was announced. I think.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Like
Lut, Luton,
just
yeah.
before the deadline of game. Yeah. Just before the deadline of game week 23, it was announced. And yesterday, last night, or today, I don't know. The double game week for Sheffield United and for Bournemouth and Luton
Luton,
has been
yeah.
announced. That is the game week 20, double game week 28, which is interesting because Bournemouth is a team that we have players. That is Solanke. I think he's in most teams because he's scoring a lot of goals this season. I think only Salah and Haaland score more goals than him. So having him with a double game week against Sheffield United and Luton at home, I think that is quite interesting, and people will be very much keen on that. And Luton, they have turned the corner. They are doing really well in the last two game weeks. They beat what was his name? Brighton 4. And then they scored 4 at Newcastle. So they are scoring a lot of goals. Adebayo scoring hat tricks. And your boy Morris, he
Morris
keeps returning.
keeps on hurting me, man, from on the bench.
Yeah, and they have Doughty too. They are left back who
Yeah.
is left wing back who's having a very very great good season in terms of creating chances and stuff like that. The goalkeeper too is quite interesting. So these are teams that with that double announce,
hmm
it is quite interesting. I know because Liverpool and Manchester City, that one many people like everybody is trying to get the assets, or everybody have the Man City assets already, and now they are trying to find ways to get the Liverpool assets again. But talking about the game week 28, the latest announcement of double game week. What's your thought on Luton and Bournemouth?
I mean, it wouldn't have been an issue or a talking point if Luton were not scoring many goals. But just recently, for the
Mm-hmm.
past few game weeks, they've been scoring goals and like coming close to, like I think they've beaten a few like top teams. And just last game week, they scored
Yeah,
4 at Newcastle, which nobody was expecting. We were
yeah,
expecting that. Oh, that's why you captain Trippier, because you thought it was going to be a mauling. And then when I saw that they were
yeah.
leading, I was like, wow, this is impressive. So they certainly have some kind of confidence, to go and score
Mm-hmm.
goals. Adebayo is really like is really looking enticing to me, to be honest. Barkley has
Yeah.
found his form too. Morris is
Mm-hmm.
ticking along nicely. So I think, given the fact that they have a double game week, I think people should really
They
look
have
into
double
it.
double, right?
Yeah,
And they
they
have a
have
double
two.
in
Yeah,
20, 20
they have another.
25
Yeah,
too,
so I
right?
think this is a good way. Even though the first one is a bit difficult, they have Man U and then Liverpool, but they can score goals
Mhm.
because they can score against anybody. That's
Yeah.
what's interesting. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an opportunity to get some points on the board, man. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I have Morris,
Yeah.
but if I can, I would probably get a second one. But
Mm-hmm.
my priority, if I didn't have Morris, was to get Adebayo, who's like the main scorer in their team, to be honest. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely load up.
Yeah.
Not load up, but at least get one or two of their assets.
Mm.
It's a bit, yeah, it's a bit tricky, but I'll definitely get one
Yeah.
Luton. Bournemouth, I already sold
Yeah.
Solanke. Well, Solanke is like the main guy in Bournemouth, to be honest. If you're gonna get
Mm-hmm.
anybody,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Solanke is there, and what is his name? They are defender. Oh, midfielder. They are midfielder. Tavernier. I think
Tavernier,
Tavernier is
yeah,
good also.
as a winger, he's really good. He's really good.
Tavernier is quite interesting. The goalkeeper Neto too is, I think, is an interesting one there. Defensively too, they had I don't know, there was this defender Zabania or something who scored back-to-back games. I think he at some point this season he got 15 points in
Mm.
back-to-back games. He's their defender who is a threat in set pieces. So, but anyways, we as that one get closer, maybe we will look at Bournemouth more. But the thing is, you have to look around those fixtures. You don't just focus on those
On one
fixtures.
fixture,
You look at
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you look at Luton. Yes, they double in game week 25, but they blank in game week 26, and then they double in game week 28. 29, they might blank, but they might, it depends on the FA Cup results. So looking at those fixtures around there where you don't have a lot of players. So that's why the planning right now is quite crucial, because you don't just look at, okay, game week 25, game week 26, and then stop at that. You have to look up to game week 29 and then try to maneuver. That's why it's very important, I think, to have a chip strategy. Like, you don't have to be like 100% sitting on it, but at least work towards one strategy. If you think you are going to use your chips in this order, then you have to pick your team based on how you're going to use your chips. So that's why at this moment for me, my headache right now is trying to identify what chip strategy I'm going to go with. So to be honest, I don't have a fixed strategy right now on what to do with my chips. I know triple captain is being is being talked about for game week 25 because of course Haaland is a big option. Even the Liverpool
Hmm.
assets also is a good option. But some people are thinking about bench boosting in that week and then moving to the other. Some are even thinking about free hitting in game week 26. There are many host of options to do. But if I'm advising anybody, the first thing you have to identify, the first thing you have to decide is, what do you think is the best strategy based on your team to go forward in terms of chip style? Then if you decide that, then you can start planning in terms of transfers based on on those things. So I don't have a set fixed chip strategy. If I was gonna advise right now, I don't have any fix. What is the way to go? It's quite difficult. But what's your thought on that? What is your chip strategy
To
right
be
now? Do
honest,
you have any
I
or?
haven't even thought about it yet. But one thing I
Mm-hmm.
know is that as a like a strategy that I use, I like to play my second wild card before game week 30. I'm not set on it, but it's like it makes sense to give me enough time, before the end of the season. I don't like playing it late. I like playing it just at the perfect time where I can actually benefit from it. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I play my wild card in game week 30. You know what I mean? But then
Yeah.
29 with the big blank makes it a bit difficult because that means you'll have to dead end
It's
all your team towards that 29, and then there's no many fixtures there anyways.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
hopefully, yeah, hopefully maybe wild card in 30, free hit in 29, triple captain in
Mhm.
25. So
Yeah.
that's why now
Yeah.
it's not set. So what I'm trying to think is
Mm-hmm.
just to keep one extra game week, like one extra transfer every week from now on. Like, that's why
Mm-hmm.
this week I'm not doing any transfers. I want to have two, just in case
In
like
gaming
something,
25.
a perfect plan comes along where I feel like, okay, this one is good enough for me to maneuver. Then I can bring in a few
Mm-hmm.
transfers. But one thing is for sure is that 25, people need to make use of it because Man City, two of the best teams in the league, have a double. Man
Mm-hmm.
City have two games. Liverpool have two games. So the,
Yeah.
you have to decide whether you want three Man City, two Liverpool, because they
Mm-hmm.
blank in 26, So maybe bring
Mm-hmm.
in two Liverpool so that at least you have one on the bench that doesn't play, and then you can transfer another one for somebody else who's playing in
Mm-hmm.
26. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So
Yeah.
it depends. Like that's what I'm going with. Have three Man City and then two Liverpool. I already have one Liverpool, so I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to add another one, and then by 26 I take one of them out and then bring somebody else that plays in 26. From another team.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll bring a Luton player in at that time because the first
Yeah.
double is a bit difficult. So I'll just bring somebody else and
Yeah.
have two Luton.
Luton blank, by the way. 26. Luton.
Yeah, so
Maybe you are.
they blank in
They,
26. So so it's difficult, man. But at least I have an idea of what I want to do. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. That's good because game week 29. If you look at it, three fixtures are confirmed right now, and possibly we're gonna have four fixtures in game week 29. If we're
Hmm.
gonna go with four fixtures in game week 29, that is gonna be very, very interesting because the teams is gonna be Brentford will play Burnley, and then that is like Burnley away, Brentford, Burnley away. I know everybody will wanna have Ivan Tony, but it's not the easiest fixture if you look at it.
Hmm.
If I look at it from my point of view in terms of fixture, who's playing at home and stuff like that, and then Aston Villa they play away to West Ham. That is also a very close fixture, and then you look at Fulham play at home to Tottenham. So like Tottenham is a good team, but going away to Fulham too is not going to be easy for them. So those are the only three fixtures confirmed, and those fixtures are not easy to call.
Hmm.
In a way, I mean, you will say, okay, it's definite that this team will win. Then you can, load up on those assets and then go with those players. There is nothing to say that. The other fixture that can be possible there is Luton versus Nottingham Forest at home. Luton at home, and then of course there are two kind of teams at the bottom side of the league. So, like, who's gonna triple on those teams? All the other big teams, based on the FA Cup fixtures, they are more likely to qualify for the next round. Man
Hmm.
City, Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, all the other teams, Newcastle, all these teams are gonna qualify for the next round of the FA Cup, or their opponents is gonna qualify. So 29 is quite gonna be very tricky to. I think it's gonna be a sacrifice, possibly. But for me personally, what I'm thinking right now is I've been thinking, okay, game week 25, because I have three Liverpool players, unlike many managers, I have three Liverpool players. If Salah is fit, then I will have the three best Liverpool assets. Let's say Salah, Darwin, and Trent. And then I have two free transfers going into that game week, and then I already have one Man City player, so it's easy for me to triple on Man City, triple on Liverpool. And if I triple on Liverpool, then game week 26, what happens is I have those three Liverpool players, who will blank, plus my Manchester, plus my two Tottenham players. But
Hmm.
of course, one of the players I will sell is going to be one Tottenham player, and then maybe possibly sell Palmer at Chelsea. So in the end, I might have just four blank game week players. And approaching game week 26, of course, I have one free transfer. I can take out one Liverpool player and then bring in another player. Then I will have 11 players to go with.
Yeah.
So that is one option where I will bench boost in game week 25. But it depends on my single game week players. Who's gonna be my single game week player? Am I gonna trust them enough to bench boost with them? So that is one thing. Or I can triple captain and then use my bench boost later in the season. But because I don't have a clear idea how the fixtures are gonna pan out later in the season,
Hmm.
I'm thinking, is it not better to just bench boost right now and then later in the season I just focus on my 11 players. Whatever I do, I just focus on the best 11 that I can put
Yeah. At least
together and then go
yeah.
with it.
At least the
Yeah,
chips
but
are
the
out. You've
fact
played
that
all your chips, and then you can actually focus on your actual
on the
game. Yeah.
11,
That.
but the issue with that is I am not playing with Haaland, right? This season I'm playing without Haaland. So
Definitely.
if I bench boost right now, and then I want to pick the best team, I still have a lot of money on the bench. If I'm just gonna focus on my 11 players, the starting 11, and then I have a lot of money on my bank not to use them. So is that an advantage? So yeah, I have a lot of options that I'm thinking about right now. So that's why I'm taking it one step at a time. I have two free transfer in game week 24. So I will just make one transfer and then keep the other one, and then game week 25 revisit and then see. Maybe you never know, injuries can also come in, and
Yeah.
then you might want to make a change there, and maybe that might even open the window for you. I'm not gonna say one example, one player get injured or something like. So if an important player get injured in your team, then that might open the door so that you can get other players. Because especially the way I play, I am quite a little bit biased when it comes to some of the players that I have in my team, and I'm not gonna sell or stuff like that. So yeah, but it's quite interesting though. For me, it's quite interesting. So that's why I'm saying the strategies are not gonna be the same for everybody. So it's important for everybody to establish their own strategy based on what they have in their team. That is very important, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think so. Basically, this year is going to be a bit difficult. So you have to see which what works for you because
Yeah,
there are many like possibilities.
there are many
Um,
possibilities. Yeah.
Another point is salary returns. So you said you have Salah. You never sold him, which is just surprising that you're doing so well with Salah on your bench still all this while he's been there, just chilling. So how does that
You know,
impact? How does that impact your planning right now?
yeah, that is quite interesting. You know, the reason why I actually even hold him is because I can remember at some point this season, everybody was having like 10 million in their bench
Mm-hmm.
or their bank because they have a lot of money to spend. So yeah, I just say, why not to keep that money on Salah for me? Because I'm not having players like Haaland and stuff like that.
Yeah, you
And
don't
then
need them.
the
You
cheap
don't
players,
need to use it.
the cheap players are doing well. So you have to trust the cheap players. Me, like, as long as the fixtures are good and the player is good, yeah, like I'm giving them I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt all the time. And then I'm trusting those players that are doing well. That's why I was quite comfortable to say, okay, like why do I sell? Why should I sell? Should I sell? But of course, there was an opportunity to sell him for Jota and stuff like that, and that would have worked. But at the end of the day, yeah, like you say, I'm doing well without him because the cheap options are doing really well this season, and there are many Chief P, Palmer,
So many
Richarlison when you get
options.
him
So
in our
many
team,
options. Yeah.
Pedro Polo, like defenders. So many options are doing really well. You have 4.02, 4.0 defenders, goalkeepers doing well in what is his name? Adiola and Dubravka. They both started at 4.0. So you have all those things. So sometimes it is affordable to keep an expensive player in your bench as long as the team that you can put out there you can trust it. That is the most important thing in every given game week, I think. Yeah, be happy with the team that you put out there, regardless of how many points you have at the end of the week. But be happy with the team that you put out there. If you put your team out there, look at it and say, okay, I'm content with this team, and then the results will take care of themselves. Yeah, but yeah, Salah returning is quite interesting. It's not confirmed that he's returned. Tomorrow is the press conference for club. Club will hold his press conference tomorrow. But I'm quite optimistic that he will be in because why? During the AFCON when he got his injury, there was this possibility that he will be back in the later stages of the competition. That is the semifinals
Yeah.
and the
In the
finals.
final, yeah.
And they say if he's available, he got to go back to Egypt and represent them. Right now, this AFCON finals is going to be this weekend. So if Egypt were still in this competition, you would expect him to be back by this at least midweek. That was yesterday, the semifinals. He should have been back by tomorrow. And then looking at his pictures, he's running. He's mostly in the gym running. He has been seen on grass running as well, and it was a hamstring injury. So I'm quite optimistic that he'll be back. But yeah, the Liverpool players we are back in training today. He was not featured in those ones. In the list of players that we are back in the training ground. So we will have to wait on what Klopp have to say on his press conference tomorrow to judge. But even if he's back, I don't think he's gonna come straight into the team. I would expect him to start on the bench against Burnley even if he was gonna be back. And then even if he's gonna be back in the double game week 2, you will expect him to be benched for one game week and then maybe play the other game week. So it's not like he's gonna give you the 100% that you will want from him. But again, if you have Salah over 2 fixtures, if you have him playing starting one and then coming on the bench for the other one, I think you will take that, especially if the fixtures are as good as Luton and Brentford. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good thought. Another one is that since we are in the planning phase, all these
yeah.
mid assets that have been doing so well will have to give way
Mm-hmm.
because Son is coming back. Like you said, Salah might be coming back too.
Mm-hmm.
So all these Palmers, Richarlison, Gordon, you have to
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice some of them because you can't have them all.
Yeah.
So do you think we are sacrificing these assets for our premium assets, or do we have to wait and see how these premiums integrate back into the team before we actually go and get them?
Yeah, it is a very interesting one. That is the
Yeah, it is.
sacrificing good
Yeah.
players for sacrificing good players. But
Hmm.
I think if you want to win in FPL, there comes a time where you have to sell good players for what you think is a better player. Um, Because usually what we do, we just try to fill in our weak link. Like you look at the player, oh, this player is not doing well for me. Let me sell him and bring another player. But we are hitting the stage of the season where you have a good player in your team, and you know that he's a very good player and he's a very good FPL player. But because of how fixtures turn, how double game weeks come in, how black game weeks come in, you have to sacrifice those good players to get better
Better
players, better
players, yeah,
picks
exactly, yeah.
in that particular period. But we seen how it backfired last week, right? Last game week, how it backfired. People selling. How do people do with Foden?
Like
You
Trump
know,
says, it backfired bigly. Massive.
yeah,
Foden.
it backfired because Haaland came in. Everybody want to get Haaland, and then
Yep,
started
yep,
sacrificing
yep, definitely.
Watkins. Some people sold
Yeah,
Watkins for
yeah.
Haaland. You know, some people bench Foden. What is his name? Bench Foden for Haaland.
Yeah.
So you see, the sacrifices are put in. But again, you don't have to be scared of it, despite what happened last week. Personally, if I see an opportunity there, I think I'm gonna take it. But I have to think hard about doing those things. So, well, if you are somebody, let me say it like this: if you are somebody that these things kind of is a problem for you, then maybe it's better to avoid it because it can be very stressful. Like what happened last week, we discussed about that, right? If you sell Watkins and then brought in Haaland, Captain Haaland, Watkins ended up scoring 18 points. You know, and even in some cases, for example, there was a situation I told you. Somebody sold Cunha, Matthias Cunha. He's having a good season. Of course, he's having a good season. He's on 11 goals or stuff like that. Sold him for Haaland. And then because of Haaland came in, he did not have a player to bench. He decided to bench Foden. So it means because of Haaland, because of trying to force Haaland in your team, you have lost like 2 hat tricks in the same week. It's painful.
It is.
But you don't have to be you don't have to be afraid
It
of
was
it. That
it
is
was
that
it was,
is
it
the
was the
difficult
right
thing.
call. It was just unfortunate. You know what I mean? Like those
Yeah,
weeks where those
it
two
was a
players. Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Okay. So we'll go to our teams. I think for the first time this season, maybe there's another one that happened before. We have the same score. um,
Yeah.
yeah. For me, I had 94 points. You also had 94 points. But man,
Yeah.
I think there was a miss for me. My captaincy was just so many players returning, and then I got my captaincy wrong. I could have easily cleared another 100 points, but you know, I mean, I'm happy that I had this points and very good game week. A rank of 255, taking me
Yeah.
from almost what two something. I think it gave me
Yeah.
22 when we last recorded. It was about 460 something k,
Yeah.
and now after two game weeks, I'm in 161k. So yeah, very good, nice rank, climbing rank. In my team, I had Ariola with 1 point, Estupinian with 1 point, Zinchenko with 1 point, Trippier with 9 points, Foden with 20, of course, Richarlison 15, Jota with 2, Saka with 9, Palmer with 8, Watkins with 18, and then Captain Haaland with 10. You can see Morris here. He's the last last on the bench with 11 points. I was like, this guy is
Your boy Morris.
he's just punishing me for no reason at all. I got him in. Remember when they had the first double
Double
of
game.
the
Yeah, I
season,
remember very
I
well.
got him into capitalize. He didn't. I think he gave a return, maybe about some 8 points or
I think
something
he
like
gave
that.
a
I
fight.
remember, yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
And the plan was to take him out, because I don't need him anymore. And now here he is, on the bench, just chilling, getting his points. So yeah, that's me for game week 23, 94 points. Your team as well.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, just to mention the thing about Haaland, I think this is the biggest thing I hate about Haaland because of like you say, you could have captained somebody else. I
Yeah,
think
definitely. Yeah.
if you didn't have that excitement of Haaland coming back and stuff like that, I think definitely you would have captained something. So it kind of masks your judgment. Having Haaland in your team is a good thing because he's the best player in the game, like I always say. But always him kind of cloud our judgment when it comes to making decisions sometimes. Because to be honest, I don't think he was the best captain option this week. He did not start. He did not come in and then start in the last game. He's coming, and then there were teams with better fixtures and all those kind of things.
You know,
There were a lot of things,
to be
but
honest,
they still.
when they play Brentford away, it's always a difficult fixture. But like you said, the
Yeah.
excitement of it, I was like, oh man, Haaland is back. Let me captain him. I definitely would have captained Watkins or somebody else who was playing at home. You know what I mean? That was the if Haaland wasn't in the picture, that was going to be the plan. But then, I have Haaland. Oh, let me just captain him because to be honest, it was a difficult week to find the best captain. But then
Yeah, definitely.
at least you look at the players that are playing at home, which is an advantage. So we, I
Mhm.
didn't do that. So yeah, I guess that's true. You're right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, anyways, me too. Yeah, I was not part of that headache, but anyways, I had in goal, I had Dubravka with his 1 point. Like Newcastle are considering like every
Oh
single game.
man,
I'm quite.
it's
They consider good goals, huh? You know, my captain Trippier, he got the goal and an assist, but still he could not
considered
even give me that.
four goals.
Yeah, because he could not, usually when he gets a goal or an assist, he usually get the bonus point.
Oh
This
yeah,
time he did not even get he did not even get the bonus point because of the number of goals they
goals he
considered.
considered. Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, so I was quite disappointed with him scoring and assisting, and then I only get 18 points from him
Mm.
because yeah, and then Trent 1 point, Trent to I don't even know. I should not have started him this game, to be honest, because I knew the situation. But who would have I started?
That's the thing.
Gabriel
Nobody.
-1.
If you started Gabriel,
Yeah,
which
I
is your
know.
best option, you would
Yeah,
get like a
it
minus
would have
one.
been worse. Yeah. So Pedro Porro,
Yeah.
Estopinanto coming off the bench. That was also very that was so disappointing. But
Yeah.
Foden, yeah, Foden was my transfer this week. Because I had two transfers, I was thinking what to do. I was not expecting 20 points, to be honest. I was not even expecting him to give me a big return or a return. But I just wanted to started to get that
The
Man
Man
City
City
players
players.
in my
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I decided to make the move from Bowen to him because I watched West Ham the previous game. Who did they play? Uh they won 2-1, I think, or they drew 2-2 against Sheffield United.
Mm-hmm.
Bowen was so bad in that game. He was
Mm-hmm.
nowhere to be found. So I was not impressed with him. The following game too, I think they drew 0-0, and Bowen was nowhere to be found. They were not creating chances, anything. So I was not impressed with West Ham at all. Bowen was not having anything. So I say, okay, let me just make this move as soon
Mm-hmm.
as possible. Even though I brought in Bowen, because they had a couple of very good fixtures. So I just decided to, pull the trigger on Bowen, take him out, and then save my other transfer. Saka 9 pointer, Richarlison 15, and then Palmer 18 points. Yeah, up top I had Watkins and Solanke. Yeah, similar. We got the same point this week, 94.
94. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first time I think this thing happened, right? I
Yeah.
cannot remember any time.
Good segue. That I've made my appearance in the Kotu Classic Mini-league for the first time this season in the top 10.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, ooh, finally. Because when I first checked, I think it was still tabulating the results and still adding up some of the stuff. When I first checked, it was 18. So when we were chatting
Uh-huh.
yesterday, I was like, oh yeah, let me just check, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh wow, yeah. Um,
Now you
you
are
know,
in.
I'm in.
I said now
So
you are in.
oh yeah, definitely in now. So yeah, that's good. Oh sorry about that. Yeah. So one second. Um,
Yeah.
the top 10 as it stands, we have top five. Sorry, not top 10.
Mm-hmm.
In fifth, falling to fifth is Hani Mukhtar,
Mm-hmm.
and with 1,407 points. This is pretty close, man. Like, that's why there's so many changes in this league because the points gap is so close. And then in
Yeah.
falling down to fourth is change of Odegaard, Tiango with 1409. And then you
Yeah.
rising to second. I think at some point you were
Mm-hmm.
first. I think some movement happened and then you came
Yeah,
down. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had a I no I had a big fall last week because
Oh,
after
okay.
game week 3.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
you
we
were
did not
first and
record
then you
that
came.
time.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Mhm.
No Ireland 114, 14, 13 points. Ali Mubashir, no movement, 14, 17, 4 points difference. And then Liki
Mhm.
Topi, Malik Sanyan with 1458. I think that's the biggest lead. I think he had 92,
Yeah.
so obviously also high enough. So two good game mix. Managers of the week, we
Yeah.
have two people with the same number of points, 105 points each. LA
Mhm.
Bills FC and Ben Chillings, Ben Chillingwell. That's a good name. Amara Cole. Our guy is back. Amara Cole is back. He's showing
my
his face
my
now.
boy Pablo
Doing
Pablo Aima.
doing well, yeah. So yeah, I'm ninth with 1381. So climbing up there slowly, gradually making our way, which is good.
Mhm.
So yeah, no worries there. And our fan corner.
Yeah.
So yeah, this time around, no complaints from me. We've been like our team is back. Like most injuries,
Mhm.
most players that were injured are back. So we've had two back-to-back wins in the Premier League. I think we played Wolves, and that was the Wolves game, man. That was a stressful
Yeah,
game. It was
it was a
cruising in the
crazy game,
first
huh?
half, and all of a sudden 3-3. I was like, if we had that, those kind of games are the games that make or break your season in a way because of the confidence level. From a winning
Mhm.
position, comfortable winning position to like drawing the game. It felt like it was going to feel like a loss, and then you have Kobe Mano coming in and scoring that exceptional goal. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that was a really
that
good goal.
was there. West Ham game, I think the first half we kind of struggled a bit, but then it was comfortable enough, with the 3-0. So finally, you can see
Mhm.
the three youngsters, which are like a delight for any team to have three youngsters doing well. Oh yeah, you have Kobe Meno, you have Garnacho, you have Hoyland. So finally, I think Hoyland is getting more comfortable as a striker, and I think the
Mhm.
team is finding him more. Like the wingers are finding him more. So
Mhm.
hopefully he continues and kicks on, man, gets more goals for us. Garnacho too, the same thing. Never gives up. Always
FPL assets
willing to
there.
try. Yeah.
I mean, FPL assets there.
Yeah, man. I'm,
Garnacho
I'm really looking at Garnacho and Haaland, man, honestly,
And
because
Hoyland.
yeah, our fixture doesn't look too bad, and after all the madness happens to double game weeks, wherever, maybe it's time to consider either one of these two, or even both of them in the team.
Hmm.
The only
Yeah,
upset we
yeah, yeah.
have, yeah, is Martinez. You can see the difference when he's in the team. Like the team
Hmm.
plays so much better because of the way he passes from the back. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
and he's not like the quickest, but the defense splitting pass that he does, to relieve pressure
Yeah.
from the defense, it helps the way we build up a lot. So when he was
Hmm.
injured again, and this one I think is a different injury. His knee, before, I think it was the foot that he was out for like
Yeah.
twice. Had a surgery twice. Now it's his
Yeah.
knee, so it's just unfortunate, man, that we can't really kick on, with his injuries. It's just a bad
Hmm.
luck, I think, in my opinion, to be honest. But he's going to be out for another 2 months, so hopefully he's
2 months.
before the
So.
end of the season again. But I don't know, man. It's going to be tricky. If everybody else stays fit, maybe we can manage to, to finish top four, maybe those Champions League positions. That's the goal for me this season.
Hmm.
Another good, like you can see here, is part owner, Jim Radcliffe, is talking about probably building a new stadium. Because I think it's high time, man. Like we need this new stadium. The stadium is leaking. It's been too old. It's probably like 100 years, if I'm not mistaken. Or there are no screens, no monitors. It's not modernized. It's not. It doesn't have. We don't
Yeah.
have the best facilities training ground anyway. So building a new stadium, it will
You
do
mean
wonders for, yeah, it will do wonders for Manchester, or even the
new
area in
st- new
general.
new new, new stadium or new renovation? What is it?
It can be either, but they don't want to move. I think, I'm not sure. I didn't really listen to what he said, but either they build it next to it because we have space around the stadium anyways, or
Hmm.
renovate the new stadium. But if you ask me, I think renovation. Where are we gonna move? I don't know whether there's a big stadium. We can't use Man City Stadium. That's we can't do that. You can't rent it. So I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
think the better thing would be to build a new stadium. Just build a new one, so everything happens quickly. You don't have any issues, any extension of the construction or whatever. But it's gonna be a lot of money.
Hmm.
It's not gonna be cheap. Yeah.
It's not
So
gonna be cheap. It's gonna be
yeah, it's
expensive.
gonna be expensive. So that's it for the fan corner for Man U. And your guys, Liverpool, like let me
Yeah,
let
we
you
had
take it.
we had a good we had a good bit in we had a good performance in midweek, of course, against Chelsea. I think that was a very good players like Conor Bradley. I know many people don't know about him. If well, of course, the Liverpool fans have known about him for a while. He's not here in the screen. Unfortunately, he was not available for the Arsenal game because of unfortunately he lost his dad after
Oh,
the
okay. I thought he
Chelsea
was injured.
after the
Okay.
Chelsea. No, no, he was not injured. His dad passed away, so
Oh, that's
he
sad.
like club sent him to be with his family and stuff
Oh,
like
that's
that.
that's
So
sad. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it was sad, but hopefully he will be back. He'll be back this week, this week. And even Trent, he was not 100% fit. I think if he was available, Trent was not gonna start that game because Trent was still struggling with his knee. Club was not even planning to use him for more than 60 minutes. That's why
Mm-hmm.
around the 57 minute he was substituted off. Even if you look at his game, he was not as sharp as we know he can be. And then you are facing Martinelli, who always try to run at you. So it was quite difficult game for Trent. And then yeah, we had a very wonderful side seeing Thiago coming back, but I think he's already injured again.
Ah.
Thiago, unfortunately. Uh, I heard he
Yeah.
had a muscle. Yeah, he has a muscle issue. Actually, when I was making this post, he was not injured. Just before we recorded that, when I saw that the reports that
I
he has
think
been injured
I
with a
think
muscle.
I think it's just
He has,
bad
he-
luck for him. But it's surprising
yeah,
the
it's a,
muscle injuries he has because he's older now. Because mostly injuries happen with players that are growing into their mold, like Olise and them, like the young players, but then they have a big frame, or players that actually use a
Mhm,
lot of strength that are fast and quick. For him, I
mhm.
don't know what's the issue, man. Like it's very strange.
Yeah, the initial injury was not muscle, to be honest. Before, like the one that kept him out from last season to now, it was a hip issue, and then
Oh, okay, okay.
he just returned, and then I think he got some muscle issue during the game against Arsenal.
Oh
That's
no.
what I hear. But yeah, I will have to wait for what club have to say about that. Hopefully it's not a major one, and he can be back quite soon. So I was very excited to have him back because with him and players like McAllister, Curtis Jones in the middle, it will be very exciting to see those three players playing together because of the nature of players they are. But nonetheless, we are struggling with injuries recently. Sabuslai was out for the game against Arsenal. He's now seen a specialist. We don't know when he's going to be back. But the good thing is, Endo will be back. Endo is back
Mm,
from the Asia Cup. Japan we are knocked out, so he will be back. And then Trent, the way Conor Bradley is playing, I will not be surprised if Trent, keeps playing in the middle, and then Conor Bradley stays at right back because he was playing really well in that game
mm.
against Chelsea. But yeah, our game against Arsenal, it was an interesting one. I would say it was a bad day at the office for Liverpool. We struggle in terms of injuries because of this lineup and stuff like that. But I think we were still in that game. We were in that game at 1-1. We struggled first half, and then we get the late goal in the first half, and I was very like happy with that. And then we kept them at bay for 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then once Darwin came in, Darwin was also injured ahead of that game, a little injury in
Oh,
the goal.
okay.
That's why he did not start that game, and then we had to start
Yeah, I
Gakpo
was
and stuff
surprised to
like
see him
that.
on the
So
bench. Yeah. Mm.
yeah. So that was the issue with him. He had a fit injury against Chelsea. Klopp said he could not wear the boots and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it was good to see him come back. That's why I actually bet him in my fantasy team because I knew he was not gonna start the game. Um, then yeah, Arsenal beat us 3-1. I would say this is for a very long time. We Liverpool at the top of their game. I think we lost a game where
They
like
always beat. Yeah, Arsenal. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, Arsenal has not often been our problem, but I think they completely that day Arteta got his tactics very, very spot on in terms of nullifying Liverpool's threats. Like
Hmm.
because Liverpool had one shot on target, which is
Yeah, it's
unheard of. Liverpool to play
very
to play.
surprising. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
it's
yeah. And I
outstanding
think we
start. Yeah.
had about 10 or 12 shots in the game in total. Usually we will average about 25, 30 goal, 30 shots in a
Yeah.
game, for example, against Chelsea. So Arsenal to limit us to that, first of all, that was their first win, making sure Liverpool are not doing what they would like to do. And then Arsenal did create their chances. It was not like they were creating tons of chances, but because they limit our chances, and then they had their chance, they had their moments, they had some big chances. Saka could have scored with his early big chance and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, too, the goal we considered, that's what I was
The
disappointed, especially the
mistake that
second
was
goal we
I think you
considered.
had two mistakes, right? I think two mistakes that you
Yeah,
guys.
we had two mistakes. The second goal and the third goal, they were all both mistakes. Even the first goal, I would say that is football. At the end of the day, if you analyze every goal, you will see a mistake somewhere, or some player has done an exceptional. But the second one was very disappointing between Van Dijk and Alisson. They had a very difficult game. I think they have been in exceptional form this season, but that was a game for them to forget, including Ibu Konate. Havertz had a very, very good game. But then if you look at the goal in detail, because of Martinelli notch Van Dijk, and then Alisson kicked. Like it was a bizarre one. It was a bizarre one. People will only see the mistake that happened. Alisson missing the ball, Van Dijk and ball dropping to Martinelli and stuff like that. But it was a bizarre one, and then that was completely killed our spirit. And then
Mm.
we got out a red card, came. But yeah, I think it was just a bad day at the office. I think we will bounce back, and then we kick on again. It will be very interesting title race. I know Man City is the favorites.
They have a
I
game in
always
hand
thought
too. They have a game in hand.
they have a game in hand too. Yeah, but the good thing for us, I would say, is and I keep telling you, is we play Man City at home. The second leg against Man City is at Anfield. So I don't care which team is coming to Anfield. As far as it's Anfield, as a Liverpool fan, you need to be
You have a
confident.
chance.
Like
Yeah, you
we
you
have a
guys are
chance.
confident. You
You
are
look at
backing
it.
yourself to win. Yeah.
Absolutely. Look at a player like Van Dijk. He has how long has he been at Liverpool? He has never lost it. He has only lost one game, sorry, at Anfield in the Premier League since he came to Liverpool. Like Van Dijk has been Liverpool forever, right? But to tell you, he only lost once when he is playing at Anfield, like, and that was against Leeds United. It's not Man City. So you will back Liverpool to win against Man City at any time at Anfield, and that is the position I am in. So yes, Man City have the advantage of the game in hand, but Liverpool have the advantage of playing them at home. That's what I would say. But I still agree with people who think that Man City are the favorites. I absolutely agree with that. But that is how it's supposed to be. They are supposed to be favorites, considering how they are, what team they are, and all those kind of things. Yeah. Yeah, it was a bad day at the office. So hoping for a bounce back this weekend against Burnley, and then we take it from there.
Okay. Moving on to the fixtures for Game Week 24. Which
Mm-hmm.
fixture do you think is going to be an interesting one for obviously captaincy, of course, because now as things stand, seems like the captaincy is not just a set point anymore. And which game should
Mm-hmm.
we target in FPL
I
right now?
think I think there are three games to target this week. Three.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Man City, like especially when you have Haaland back, you have to think about that team, that game against Everton. Of course, it's the early kickoff, and hopefully people will get some information before the game start, who starts, and all those kind of things. So that is also another reason why you should wait on your transfers,
Yeah,
especially if you are not yet set on the Man City players that you have. So Man City, Everton, yeah, Everton have been defending pretty well. I think they are top 4 clean sheets this season. But when it comes to Man City playing against a Pep playing against Dicey, it's always 5-0.
at home. Yeah.
I used to tell I used to tell you that when he was at Burnley, they used to beat them always 5-0. So it will be interesting to see if this one how it pans out. But Liverpool Burnley too.
Yeah.
Burnley
So
defensively they are not the best defensive team in the league. So Liverpool playing them at home, but who to captain at Liverpool?
that is the thing.
That is the thing because Salah is not certain to be there, and I'm sure people, unless you are me, you will never captain Darwin. That is the thing. Unless you, yeah. The other game is Tottenham because Richarlison, the form he's on Brighton too defensively, they are not the soundness. They can be very sound defensively sometimes, but generally speaking, they are not the greatest defense in the league. So those are the three fixtures that I will look at if you are talking about FPL and captaincy.
Yeah. I think West Ham Arsenal right now, the way Arsenal is playing right now, even though it's away, I'm expecting
Mm-hmm.
a few goals from Arsenal, to be honest. But you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
captain like now, to be honest. You don't want to captain somebody playing away to West Ham, even though West Ham have been good this season at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Defensively,
Mm-hmm.
they've beaten a few teams, but yeah, I think those three fixtures that you mentioned are the ones to consider, to be honest. So yeah,
Yeah.
and finally, our teams. As it
Yeah.
stands, no transfers for me. Um, I'm having issues with my defense. I haven't been getting points from them apart from Trippier. I think even Trippier before this 18 point or
Mm-hmm.
sorry 9 points, he was getting me like
Mm-hmm.
single points conceding goals. Pedro Porro hasn't been great. Gusto has been in and out of the team. Chelsea haven't been doing well, even though they beat Aston Villa at home, in the cup. So
Mm-hmm.
that's different. But yeah, so my team as it stands is Areola in goal, Gusto, Porro, and Trippier in defense. Midfield I have Saka, Jota, Richarlison, and Foden. And then
Mm-hmm.
up top, I have Watkins, Haaland, and then Morris. So Morris is finally in as it stands. So let's see how it goes. So it's between him and Palmer. But Palmer is playing away
Mm-hmm.
at Crystal Palace,
Mm-hmm.
which I expect will be a more difficult game. But I'm tempted to bring him in for Morris. I don't know. It depends how I feel right now. So we'll see.
You,
And
you still
and
you still don't trust Morris.
I
Morris
still
is
don't
playing
trust him.
Sheffield United. Sheffield United are considering fives. So Luton with the form they are on at home, I think if I had Morris this week, I would have to think really hard not to start him. It would be
Mm,
like Sheffield United at home. I think Sheffield United is the best fixture right now in the league. Like in terms of the team that you would like your player to face
mhm.
is Sheffield United at this moment. Of course, if you consider them against Luton, it's kind of the same
The same
level
level.
teams.
That's the
Like
thing. Yeah, so those
yeah.
games are a bit more difficult, but you never know. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's in for now, so we'll see how that changes as time goes on, as we get closer to the deadline. But that's my team. Your team, any changes, transfers,
Yeah, I
banking?
have two free transfers.
You have to use one.
Going into this game week. Yeah, I have to use one, or else it's gonna go on vain. So in goal for now, I have Dubravka, Pedro Porro, Trippier, and Trent. And then midfield, I have Foden, Saka, Palmer, and Richarlison. And then up top, I have Watkins, Darwin, and Solanke. Salah, I think even if clubs say he's available for this weekend, I might just be tempted to bench him, even if they say he's available, even though it's Burnley, because I don't think he starts. And then if he's gonna give you 20 minutes, I would rather pick the players that will start for me and give me 60, 70 minutes. So that is the thing. But again, you look at it, it's Burnley at the end of the day. If they tell you Salah is available for Burnley, then you will want to think twice.
He might come
But
in
I will see.
and score a hat trick.
Yeah, he can do. He does those things. He does those things.
Yeah,
Come
he
in
does.
second half, and then I can remember he did in the Champions League. Coming from the bench, score a hat trick in the league. I can remember when we beat Crystal Palace 7-0. He come off the bench and then give us a 16-pointer.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I remember because he was a doubt. Yeah, he was. I think he was. So was it he stopped early the previous game week or something like that? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Some weird
and
thing
yeah.
He does it, man. It's possible.
It's possible, yeah. But like you say, Parma is quite interesting because for benching, because they play Crystal Palace away. And Palace right now, if they don't have Eze and Olise, they are kind of a very, very bad team. And it is unlikely that those two players will play. So maybe it could be a good fixture for Parma, Crystal Palace.
It's possible. That's my worry right now. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, so, and you remember I benched him against Luton away, and then he scored that 18-pointer or 19-pointer. What was it? Parma. So he's a very dangerous player, But I will see. But in terms of transfer, what I'm thinking, Parma is actually one of the players I am thinking of selling to bring in a Manchester City player. And the player I'm thinking about, of course, is Rodri. Which is not exciting, but it's for a reason. And that I'm thinking of Rodri because I want to have 3 Man City players at the end of the day, and I believe Rodri is a good option in the fact that he will start both games, right? He will play both games. He never get benched at City, and he has it in him where he scores 1 goal.
He does. He does score. Yeah, he does score some.
He does score some goals sometimes here and there. So, and then I compared him to players like in the 5 million in the 6 million range. Like you talk about Barkley and all those kind of players. I compare their numbers, and Rodri is way ahead of all these players in terms of shots, in terms of XGI. And then don't forget that he's gonna have a double game week, and the double game week is gonna be Brentford and Chelsea.
And he's gonna most likely play both of those games.
He's gonna play both games, and it's at Manchester City. Like Manchester City, they create tons of chances. You never know, right? So maybe he might just chip in with 1 goal, and then it could be a good pick. Over the 2 fixtures. You never know. You are talking about 10 points or 12 points. Usually, when he gets a goal, he gets the bonus points because of his passing. He does a lot of passing in the team. So
that's a good
that is one transfer.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
And then if you make the transfer now, you have him for Everton at home. Then you have him for the double game with Chelsea and Brentford at home. And then you have him for the blank game with 26, where Liverpool will blank, and most of these teams, Chelsea will blank, and Tottenham will blank. You have ready for that, so you have him for 4 good weeks, for 4 good games. So that's why I'm thinking about that for a game, because Man City are in the stage right now. They cannot afford to bench Jordan. We all know when they bench him.
Yeah. They need all their first team players to actually.
Yeah. And that is the one transfer I'm thinking. The other one I'm thinking about is goalkeeper. I know, you know me. I'm different from you on that regard. I don't mind making goalkeeper move if I see benefit in it. To be honest, like you spoke about, what was it? Luton goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's a good. I think point that you made.
Yeah, Kaminski.
Definitely.
Because
I might go there too. Because definitely I have. Yeah. My keeper has been injured. My second keeper has been injured the whole season. So
because you don't make exactly. If you make that change, if you can make that change, then imagine you can you go back to the fixture keeping credit. Let me just show you what I'm thinking about. Why I want him in my team. Okay, that is it. Then you have Luton, right? If I bring him for this game week, you have him for Sheffield United at home, which is a good fixture. It's better.
Definitely.
It's better than playing Dubravka.
For Dubravka for you, and then
away. You got, and then where's Ariola? Ariola is West Ham against Arsenal. So you will not start
Oh, yeah,
Ariola against
that's a
Arsenal.
tough fixture. Yeah,
So,
definitely.
so you have Kaminsky against Sheffield United at home is better. Then you have a double game week. In a double game, he makes a lot of saves. Even though he will concede a goal, they concede a lot of chances as well. So he will make saves.
Mm-hmm.
So those saves points, you accumulate them. You never know how much is going to give you. In over 2 game weeks, he will start, right? Again, in game week 26, it's better than starting Ariola. Ariola is, what is it called? West Ham. They play Nottingham Forest away. And then Newcastle, they play Bournemouth at home, you know? So it's because they have one fixture, but he has 2 fixtures at the end of the day. So even if he gives you 2 points, that is a 4-pointer
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day. And then 26, you're gonna bench him anyways, because you have either Dubravka or Ariola, because you will have another goalkeeper. You can start Dubravka or Ariola in game week 26 when he blanks, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because he will blank. And then don't forget, game week 28, he has another double.
Another double again.
Crystal
Yeah.
Palace and Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And you can use him over that fixture too as well. When you can bench your other players like Ariola will play against Burnley in that week, and then Newcastle will play against Chelsea away. And then you look at game week 29, they are likely to have a fixture. If you look at the grey one or the purple one,
Against
and
Forest.
they are more likely to get a fixture than West Ham. They will play Arsenal. So no West Ham they will
Aston
play
Villa.
Aston
Yeah.
Villa. That's quite a difficult fixture. And then you look at Newcastle, they play Crystal Palace, but that is unlikely to happen. So they will blank. Newcastle will blank. So Kaminsky is making sense for me. So like I say, it's always about the plan that you have for your team. If you are going to wildcard in the process and stuff like that, maybe it's not the good idea. But if you want to keep your chips like the wildcard, the free hit intact, maybe Kaminsky is your guy. So that's why I'm thinking about him. And it's possible that I might do that one move and then skip my other transfer. That is what I'm thinking
I mean,
about.
that move is better for me this week than actually taking out Palmer for Rodri, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Rodri, maybe you leave it until the deadline for 26, 25 when they have the double, and then bring him in right then. But Palmer, if you don't want to miss out on the Palmer points when when he goes.
Especially Crystal Palace. But
Yeah.
Palmer, look at Chelsea again. Go back, please. 1 minute. Last one. Go back to Ben Crellin and look at Palmer in terms of fixtures. Chelsea, where are Chelsea?
They have a
Down at the
difficult. They have a
bottom.
difficult run of fixtures. Crystal Palace,
What they
Man City.
Crystal Palace is good. Crystal
Yeah,
Palace
it's
is good,
good.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's decent.
Man City,
Man City,
blank.
you don't want Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
Blank. Then
Brentford.
Maybe even Brentford will be difficult because Brentford defense, you'll see how they defended against Haaland and stuff like that, against Man City. They make it difficult. And then you have Newcastle, and then you have Arsenal. Like, what is a good fixture from game week 24 to game week 29 that you don't wanna you need to hold on to Haaland? That is the thing.
Just Crystal Palace. I think that's it. Yeah. After Crystal
Exactly.
Palace, yeah, he should definitely be leaving.
He's a good pick. He's one of the best pick in the game this season because of his price and all those kind of things. But if you look at this span, you might think that you can do better. And this is the way I play. I want to take opportunities when I see them, and I see Palmer as an opportunity right now. Even though he can punish me, but you have to buy a ticket to win the lottery at the end of the day.
You need to understand also with Palmer this season, he's done it against big teams. Even against Man City, he actually he got good points too.
Yeah, that's true. He did well against
that's one thing we need to, because Chelsea is very inconsistent. They lost last game 4-2 at home, and now they're here beating Aston Villa in the cup, also at home 3-1. So I mean, yeah, man. But yeah, I think you're right. Maybe it might be time for him to go, based on other fixtures, other players that have better fixtures, anyways.
Yeah, even Barkley. I would rather have Barkley than Palmer right now.
Yeah, Barkley has 2 double game weeks, man. So
because of double game weeks. So all those kind of things there. So you have to do it. You have to. That's my take.
Yeah. Okay, man. We have come to the end of the pod. It's been a good one. At least we have managed to keep it under 1 hour. So it's always good.
Which is because Liverpool lost, so there's not much to say.
No being waxy lyrical about your players, so that's good. Yeah. So guys, thank you for supporting the pod as well. We are the Kotu Classic. Please like and subscribe. Please share as well. You can check out the Jola Football Bantaba, of course, for more Gambian football content and other content. Yeah. So guys, thanks, and catch you guys on the next one. Good luck, everyone.
Goodbye.